All right, people. Before I get too far into this, let's bring this out for a second. I'm going to make sure that the audio is not tweaking. I'm going to go to locals. Oh, shoot, I didn't plug in my computer. Oy. Okay. There is a 50-50 chance that at some point during the stream, the microphone falls off the table. I've clamped it to a different table now because I'm moving yet again. And the table's like not a square edge, it's sort of like a circular edge. And so only half of the clamp for anybody who knows how these Rode mics work. Oh, we're going to go through that video in a second, but let me just make sure that we are simultaneously live on vivabarneslaw.locals.com. Someone in our locals community says, David, my stomach just can't take that kind of crap. Yeah, we're going to get into it, and we're going to have to watch it over and over again. How is the audio? Oh, and are we live on Rumble? We look like we're live on Rumble too, people. So this is a short notice. Do you know what it's like? Like, I don't feel 100%. I probably feel like 70% of what I consider myself to feel like when I'm at 100%. I was able to jog today. First of all, look at my disgusting face. Swollen eyes, bags under my eyes. My eyelids are still swollen. When I touch there, it doesn't matter. Nobody wants to hear this. But yesterday, just at dinner time, it was like the Christmas miracle, but it came in time for New Year's. All of a sudden, my sinus headache, although excruciating, was not debilitating. I for a brief moment in time, I smelt and tasted food for a second. We had an amazing dinner with the family. We then did a talent show with okay, imagine this, people. We're in a house where there are my parents. There were all 5 siblings. And there were all, let me see here, 5 plus 2 plus 4. We're at 11. Plus 3, 14. Then we're at another 3, 18. 18 grandkids. I think we were at like 17, maybe. They weren't all there. We had a table of 28 people. It was like feeding a barracks. We then had a, first time we've ever done this as a family, and it was amazing, a talent show where we all did something silly or funny and then went out for a bonfire, set off some fireworks, came in, watched the ball drop, and then I went straight to bed. I hope Viva performed in a talent show. That probably didn't take long. I went and mastered 3 ridiculously easy online internet tricks. I just hope someone recorded it because I got my brother rapping, and if I get his permission, we'll put that on the internet. Lion Advocacy, my brother. It was fantastic. So I felt better just in time for the evening because for the last 4 days I've been literally sitting on a bed lying up at the ceiling. I still feel like crap though, but I was able to jog this afternoon. That was the big one. And now, just to prove a point to the degenerates at CNN, I'm going to drink also because my dad seems to have a bottle of Lagavulin 16 and oh my goodness, I can't smell it. I can't smell a damn thing. Hold on. Nope, not a thing. Drinking Lagavulin when you can't taste it? Oh my goodness, that's like, I don't know how a visually impaired person can appreciate the beauty of the Mona Lisa, but terrible. Okay. What are we going to talk about today? So that's it. So I said I feel good enough to have a stream. Tomorrow, I might be doing a podcast with Freeway Frank, and we'll see if we can simul stream that. But if anybody doesn't know who Freeway Frank is, amazing guy. Was like, he's a cornerstone. He's a centerpiece of Montreal, Quebec, Canadian culture. Freeway Frank was on the radio for decades. Amazing guy. So I might be doing a podcast with him tomorrow. So first of all, people, let me just, hold on. I'm going to mute for 1 second. Still can't smell. First of all, Happy New Year. Can you believe it? Well, I'm an old man now. I was thinking about, like, I made everybody makes the Y2K joke for anybody who lived through Y2K. I'm an old man. 40. I'm going to be 45 years old, and it's 2024. And I don't know if we say this every year, like this year's the year, this is the biggest year in the history of humankind. I think we're really at that point right now where 2024 is going to be the turning point or a turning point of civilization. So, Steve, stop it, Viva. I'm your age, dude. We're old men. How does it feel? I still don't, except now I look like shit just because my eyes are all swollen, whatever, but I still feel young, still feel relatively healthy. Happy New Year, everybody. It's amazing. It's a stupid, arbitrary date scheduled in a calendar that represents nothing on the one hand and everything on the other. It's a new day where you get to, if you can, forgive yourself for the wrongs that your transgressions of the last years, and promise and venture to be a better person for the year and years to come, even though you know you will transgress yet again. You will not be perfect because none of us are. But it's sort of like the starting block, the starting point, the clean slate, where we can set new goals to better ourselves professionally, morally, spiritually. And this year I plan to do all of those. Okay. We're live on all the platforms. I don't need to double check anything here. Where did that come from? Sorry, hold on. Okay, stop it. I hear myself. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I accidentally pressed something. So, Happy New Year. I hope everyone had a good New Year. I hope everyone had a meaningful one. It's a stupid date. We get to start anew as of today. My New Year goals, and I have to put them in a chart or in a hierarchy, and I'm going to do a poll to see what I should focus on most in the new year. A fixed schedule is going to be item one, potential one. More in-person interviews, more interviews in general, or just more of the same. More of the same is never really a good goal. So that's the query in my mind. I think I would stand, professionally, social media, whatever. It would be beneficial to me to have a fixed schedule, but I hate fixed schedules. I hate not total freedom. And then the question is, where do we all go from here? So we're going to cover it all a little bit tonight, but mostly it's Happy New Year's. And let's just talk about the abject degeneracy of mainstream media. Like, I'm showing you CNN just because they are the worst. But from what I understand, we're going to go back to that intro now. From what I understand, this video, it goes straight to New Year's, two people eating each other's faces. Oh, I wanted the meme. I will eat your head from pop star Keep It On, Keep It On. But I'm not a prude. And I'm not a prude. And above all else, I'm not a homophobe. And I know like everyone's going to say, if you have to say you're not a homophobe, that means you're a homophobe. No. I don't want to see Brad Pitt gnawing at Meg Ryan's face when Meg Ryan was at her prime any more than I want to see two strangers sticking their tongues down each other's throats in public. Now, people choose to do it. I'll turn my head away. I don't care. God bless them if they're happy doing that. When you jam that in the faces of the captured public that has to watch that crap CNN New Year's coverage, you're telling people what to think. You are imposing ideology on them. And like I said, once you understand that all of this, hold on, what did I say? I forgot. I said it better yesterday. Was it yesterday? Once you understand it's all staged for propaganda, narrative, and politics, you can never see it the same way again. And just by the way, it has so little to do with the gender orientation of the two people smashing each other's faces because there was a heterosexual couple right after them. It starts well before that. This entire thing, it looks like something out of Big Brother, 1984 Orwellian dystopian future. Let's just piece this down. Like robotic. It looks like it's like the Apple smashing the hammer through the screen ad. Dystopian future. I don't know how they pick these freaking colors. This orb looks like a satanic themed orb. Someone asked me, well, what makes it satanic? First of all, a lot of the what do they call them? The triangulated patterns are known, I mean, in as much as there are satanic images, that's one of the patterns they go for. I'm sure you can also find, like, what is it called? The five-pointed star thing here. This doesn't look welcoming. I don't know what this looks like. To me, it looks menacing. It looks like in Total Recall when Schwarzenegger pulled the ball tracker out of his face. That's kind of what it looks like. To me, this looks like something that goes up your butt for prodding. Or like a scepter that they use to sacrifice young virgins. But maybe I'm just a little weird. Right here. Priming. I mean, I appreciate, I don't want to make any jokes that'll get me canceled. The woman's wearing a mask outdoors at New Year's Eve. Now, I appreciate some cultures and some countries have a history of wearing masks if they don't feel well. I don't care. What is the issue here is the choice of the editor or whoever the hell controls the camera. What story are we telling? We're going from 1984, Satanic Orb, to 1984, Obey Big Brother, Wear Your Mask Outside. By the way, all of it is brought to you by, we can't see it on this one. I mean, what does this even look like? This all looks menacing. It looks like the intro of The Running Man. Bam, I gotta watch that movie again. Joy, Happy New Year. And bam, two men eating each other's faces. Although in fairness, I mean, who knows who identifies as how now. Can I zoom in here? Can we appreciate what we're seeing in this momentary glimpse right here, by the way? What the fuck is going on? I'm sorry. What they're not just kissing Happy New Year's. They're getting it on. Oh, it's love. I'm sure they're in love. Oh, here we go too. Oh yeah. Oh, no, but hold on. Here. Stop. Can we all appreciate what the hell is going on here? There's nobody around them. Everybody in the background is looking somewhere else. I mean, I don't want to... It's not a question of doxing. There's no but to this. If I had the capabilities like Marco Polo facial tracking thing, I guarantee you these two individuals are performers or actors. I guarantee you this is about as natural as saccharine injections. I guarantee you they said, hey, anybody here want to fucking eat each other's faces out of love on New Year's Eve and don't mind it being broadcast to the world? Okay, stand right there. Nobody around them is doing this. Everybody is looking in the other direction, pointing their cameras. Look at them in the back. Like, what is this? And oh yeah, that's right. There it is. Planet Fitness. Why do you keep saying it's got what plants needs? Because Brando keeps paying me to say it. We live in idiocracy, people. Oh, by the way, just I have to do it. It's the hand. I mean, that's where you know shit's getting serious. Oh, there you go. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, you got. Oh, they're in love too. Everybody's loving each other. And then we had to turn it off because we had kids in the house. I'm not a prude. It's programming. And we're going to get into the next video about this after we do. First of all, the gay thought. Okay, I'm not looking at those comments there. It has nothing to do with gender orientation. A heterosexual couple engaging in lewd and lascivious behavior in public at New Year's is one thing. The cameraman saying, hey, this is what we're going to broadcast to the world. We go from the orb, we go to the face mask, we go to people eating each other's faces, total sexual moral depravity. Happy New Year, brought to you by CNN. And it was literally brought to you by CNN. Hold on. What I'll admit to you that I brought my the Lagavulin out on the one hand as a prop for the purpose of illustration, what I'm going to say right now. On the other hand, it's my, I don't have Lagavulin 17, 16. I can't taste a damn thing. So once upon a time, y'all remember when Anderson Cooper. It's just. I try not to make these connections, but I didn't even put... Anderson Cooper, I know, is gay. Then they had, because one year, I think it was he and Don Lemon, they said they can't drink anymore because they misbehave when they get drunk. Like a bunch of 14-year-old prepubescent boys that get drunk and have to act like jackasses because that's what they think being an adult who gets drunk looks like. Yesterday, they had Anderson Cooper, this guy here, another guy who my mother had to tell me was a moral degenerate who got arrested in a park, apparently, with a rope around his neck and his genitals, high off methamphetamine. They had Neil Patrick Harris on. Now I'm noticing a trend that I didn't even want to notice. But set that aside. These idiots were not supposed to drink anymore because these idiots are idiots. It's not a question of not being able to handle your alcohol. It's alcohol reveals character to some extent. And these idiots are jackasses. And when they drink, these idiots lose the inhibition to not act like the inner jackasses that they are. ALX, this is ALX's tweet. They weren't supposed to drink anymore, but they did. And they made total asses of themselves like 12-year-old kids. Oh, remind me about the story time anecdote when we're done with this. Listen to this. Yeah, ALX put this montage together, I think. Hold on, I'm going to sneeze. Here.
Cheers, everybody.
at
Happy
home.
New Year.
Happy New Year.
Here we go.
Here's what we do, because this is what adults do. Oh, and adults are like 12-year-old boys. They've never tasted alcohol before.
Okay. Woo, I feel loosened up already.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody.
I mean, I look at this and it almost feels like it's AI generated. Ugh. Oh God, it's so.
I think it's getting easier.
I think it's
going
getting
down better.
easier.
By the way, just want to point out,
New direction.
One Direction.
Whatever. Hold on, I gotta block my betas real quick.
Block my betas? What does that mean?
And
Happy New
cheers
Year.
to all of you at home. Happy New Year.
I wasn't watching this, by the way. Just so you know, I was not watching the ball drop.
Even for me. Wow.
Wow, it's like, oh wow, tequila's like it's like we've conquered a marathon.
Standing up. Never have I ever. Never.
I mean,
Ever. Okay. Another shot coming up in 30 minutes, folks. Oh my God.
Oh my
Never
God.
have I ever.
Please do.
Please
This will be
do.
the last shot for us of 2023.
Wow.
All right.
and apparently my dad was watching and he said like Anderson Cooper said something like, did Big Daddy get his drink? His I mean, it was.
Everybody.
It's,
Oh wow. Oh my.
are these are the biggest idiots on the face of the planet?
She's sputtering now. Let me do this intro. You okay? Okay.
Can you believe that?
John, you are in
I
Tokyo,
can't see
Japan.
Anderson, but I know exactly.
Oh, that's right. Here we go. Listen to this.
Yes.
Yes, you
I'm in
do.
Tokyo.
Yes, you do. He's gone. He's off
Yes.
with the fairies here. Just the shot of the cat's ass in your face is making him delirious.
This is the worst thing on earth for people who do not want negative, unjustified stereotypes to be perpetuated. We live in a sick society. Hold on, let me just see who says. Here we go. Hisservant S. We live in a sick society. Help, Dave. Please stop siding with these people. Help, Dave. Please stop siding. I don't know what that means, but I'll tell you this. I wasn't watching it. Period. Except for the people eating their faces. This is abject moral degeneracy being pushed on as normalcy. First of all, story time. When we were kids, Ray, if you're watching this, you're not watching this, but if you are, we used to go to my best friend's house and we were all a bunch of 12-year-old idiots. And we would go when my best friend's parents would go to bed, we'd go down to the kitchen and raid his father's liquor cabinet. And his father, who I'd like to think got me started off with my love for fine scotches, had the best stuff on earth in his liquor cabinet. And we're the idiots that we are. We're like, he'll never notice. We finished a bottle of that he had called a Loch Jew, which is called black. I think it's called the black whiskey. I don't even think you can get it anymore. Loch Jew Scotch. It was tar whiskey. Loch Jew single malt. Check this out. I don't think you can get it anymore. And we drank a bottle of this like a bunch of 12-year-old, 13-year-old idiots who had no appreciation for how singularly unique this Scotch was. The black whiskey. Even at the age of 12 and being the idiots that we were, we didn't sit around taking a little shot going, oh, I got burnt. Oh, tequila is delicious. Tequila is the new Scotch. My late father-in-law put me onto some tequila. It's like drinking the sweat of angels. And these idiots are making a mockery out of everything. They're making buffoons out of themselves. And it's just, here it is, it's normal. And this is, anybody who's watching this says, well, at least I'm not that bad, so I can justify my own degenerative proclivities to myself, because at least I'm not Anderson Cooper, cat's ass, making a mockery out of drinking tequila level stupidity. Oh. So that's that. Loch Jew is still available. Black whiskey? Yeah, okay, I'm going to get some. I actually have to replace that bottle for my father. And then one day we're like, oh, he'll never find out. And then what do you think adults do? Like, adults don't know what they have in their house? Oh, did we get into trouble? And I remember this. I'll end it on this. Calls me in and he says, because I was his favorite. I was his favorite of my best friend's friends. I know it. He was my second father, and he knew it. And he takes me down and he says, I know what you guys have been doing, and I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed in you. And it's like, oh, Ray, you got deep, Shrek, and you never forget that. And that's the lesson that you hope. That's the way you hope you can teach lessons to kids. All right. So with that said, that was raining in the new year. This is going to segue perfectly. I mean, I love it when it happens, but it's sort of my mental framework. Trying to normalize the degeneracy. How do you make sense of this? It's not just any one element. It's all of it together. Mask, submission, moral degeneracy, normalizing the abject abnormal. And by that, I just mean moral and sexual depravity, not anything in particular. How do you make sense of it all? I'm sitting there and I say this, like, when you randomly scroll across a video and you are sufficiently captivated that you watch it to the very end, A, it requires a share, and B, it requires an explanation. Now, Laura Aboli, hold on a second. I meant to do this before the show, but got a little distracted. Laura Aboli, who is she? Fox News. Oh, okay, I knew she looked familiar. Oh yeah, here. Okay, so fine. Here we go. Laura Aboli. This is the video. So she's a Fox. I didn't realize that. Listen to this. Hold on. Get back to here. I'm going to pause this periodically just so we can talk about it, because this came before, and it allowed me to make sense of what I was about to see before I even knew I was about to see it.
The final goal is to eradicate humanity as we know it. Once you understand the final destination, it becomes much easier to look back and identify the psychological conditioning, the biological tampering, the cultural grooming, and the educational prepping that we have been subjected to for decades.
And this is what she's describing here is the iteration of Kierkegaard's. Life can only be understood backwards, but must be lived forwards. Once you've lived through it, and you're like, oh yeah, when you watch Fight Club again, and you're like, oh yeah, I remember. Now I see that screen, that flash of Tyler Durden here. Oh, now I see the flash, 6 flashes of Tyler Durden. Oh yeah, now I see the little weenie in the film. When you watch things again for the second time, knowing where they're going, you can pinpoint and identify things that you missed the first time. It's the nature of life. You don't see it as it's happening. But when you analyze it in retrospect, it makes a whole hell of a lot more sense.
In preparation to making us accept a post-human future.
I'm not sure that I agree with her on the post-human, like the what do they call it, transhuman side of it. I don't necessarily see it that way. When she started talking, I thought she was going to go to the population reduction side of things, which might be also tangentially where she's going. I thought she was going to go with like condition people into being miserable in life so they don't even want to bring new life into the planet. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. She's heading towards the transhuman side of things. Listen to this.
It takes a lot of physical and psychological abuse to get an intelligent species like ours to agree to its own extinction. Most, if not all, that has transcended in the last 60 years was designed to get us closer to accepting such a dystopian reality.
I'll have to. We're going to go through the whole thing here. I need to now go reassess things that happened prior to my awakening so I can truly understand when and where this all got started. I mean, I know the Stolzheim, Gulag Archipelago. I mean, I know a lot of the big names, but my goodness. If only I knew when I was studying philosophy what I know now, I would have made a lot more out of it. It's why kids cannot appreciate history, because they don't even have enough life experience in order to understand the importance and the context of the history that they're learning. It's the tragedy of life. Youth is wasted on the young.
Whether you care to accept it or not, we live in a hyper-controlled matrix where our perception of reality is meticulously planned, managed, and executed in order to control and steer us in whichever direction they wish.
This music, they kept on using the royalty-free music over and over again.
The direction is a post-human world.
It's not really going to be a post-human world because there's still going to be humans there. It's going to be a human select world, much like what we saw in that clip. If you haven't seen it, Dr. Strangelove, go watch it. There'll be humans left, just the ones who get to be there. Kind of like selective life. Yeah, we'll reduce the population to however much. It's not post-human entirely. We'll find a way for you cattle to live, but we'll enjoy our bunkers on a Hawaiian island. Zuckerberg, I'm looking at you. Or maybe it's in New Zealand, who knows?
For this, they first needed to destabilize, dehumanize, and demoralize humanity through every means possible. The destruction of the nuclear family, children being indoctrinated by the state, abortion, the eradication of God and spirituality from education.
Now, see, I understand what you're saying, but then you can go back and think about the Roman era where, I mean, you didn't have yet the creation of spirituality and God, although you had Judaism but not Christianity. But you've had the destruction of the attack on the nuclear family under various regimes that is not necessarily related to transhumanism, but maybe just Marxism and communism and socialism, but whatever. I mean, the point is there.
Life in mega cities and away from nature, toxic food, air and water, social media, replacing real human connection and interaction, engineered financial crisis and taxation, endless wars and massive migration, stress, anxiety, depression, drugs and alcohol, constant fear-mongering, moral relativism as the new religion. And I could go on and on about how humanity has been influenced and forced to move away from all the things that give us strength, security, purpose, and meaning.
It's how you get people in a cult. I mean, literally, more recently and specifically, everything that she just described there occurred as the response to COVID. Isolation, fear-mongering, distancing from family, distancing from all the social norms that were the pillars of society. That's how you brainwash people. That's how you get people into a cult and convince them that they cannot live outside of the cult. So, yeah.
A weak, immoral, disconnected, ignorant, and unhealthy population is an easy target for the next stage, the creation of an entire generation of androgynous beings.
You can't disagree with that at this point in time, and you got CNN jamming it down your face. A culture that doesn't reproduce, and not only one that doesn't reproduce, that sterilizes their own children. But they do it under the cloak of benevolence and kindness and understanding, and you're the bigot for not supporting the sterilization of children. That's how they got you in the cult. They don't let you talk to your friend. They tell you who to read. They tell you who to listen to. They tell you who you can talk with. And it's full excommunication for failing litmus test issues.
Masculinity is under attack psychologically, culturally, and biologically.
Toxic masculinity. It's man, I'll tell you, I'm going to watch them and start crying listening to it again, but that's just because I'm still a little tired.
Women are being replaced in sports, entertainment, and politics by men pretending to be women. And children are being indoctrinated at school to think that gender is a choice. The transgender movement is not a grassroots movement. It comes from the top. It has nothing to do with people's freedom of expression, sexuality, or civil rights. It's an evil psyop with a clear agenda to get us closer to transhumanism by making us question the most fundamental notion of human identity.
I still don't think I fully understand the scope and scale of what is meant by transhumanism, because I would have just gone to the population reduction, the most obvious point of this. And also just total social decay. Because, even to attack my own idea about population reduction, if this is only directed at the West and not countries, if it's only directed at and being absorbed by the West, I'm not sure that it's transhumanism. I'm not sure that it's population reduction, because if countries like China, India, Russia are not doing it, then you're not really succeeding at population reduction. What you are only succeeding at is the collapse of the West as we ever knew it. And I think that might be the only and underlying objective. PSYOP, I agree with it. And I wonder who's waging this PSYOP. And, I think it's adverse foreign interests. And the people playing along within the West are the ones who say, just give me a seat in the bunker. Just give me my pick of a very of a fertile girl. Give me a fertile girl when we all go into the bunker, and I will destroy my own civilization. Because if it's going to happen anyhow, I may as well have a good seat to see things, to see the ship go down.
Our gender. If you don't know who you are, if you already identify as a hybrid between a man and a woman, you will be easily convinced to become a hybrid between human and machine. Gender ideology is the 2 + 2 = 5 from George Orwell's 1984 dystopian novel.
There's no question about that. What is a woman? I had a joke with redheaded libertarian. Women have boobs. Like, whoa, women have boobs? Humans, peoples, have these things, these fleshy Okay, I'll skip the joke. It's not that funny anyhow.
It's the final test to see whether we will follow the most absurd party line towards our own extinction.
There's no such thing as woman. Woman is what woman thinks, and man thinks man is woman. Man gets to kick woman ass at sports.
But 2 + 2 = 4. And no matter how you choose to dress, call yourself, or change your physique, will not change that. The sad reality, though, is that in the gaslighting process to get us closer to a post-human future, they have mentally and physically harmed an increasing number of children and young people, and it's only getting worse. This must be stopped.
That's very good. It's amazing. I don't think it's post-humanism. I don't know what that means necessarily, or I don't understand the full scope of it, much like I didn't understand the full scope of spike proteins in 2020. Population control, could be some sort of an explanation. I just happen to believe it's just part and parcel of the war on the West being waged by adversarial interests, and you got a lot of willing players who just want to be either last on the wall or first on the boat, and that's what I think about that. Okay, now before we head on over to Rumble. I'm getting ahead of myself here. We're going to go to Rumble in a second. I just want to see, I think I missed a couple of chats here. Here's the link to Rumble. Boom shakalaka, thank you. And now there were 4 super chats that I didn't get to. Not a banned account says, will MAGA supporters count as insurrectionists? Everybody will. I'm having some big issues. Well, not like big issues. I'm getting irritated with the DeSantis supporters who just don't seem to understand what's at stake here. Everyone who is politically disfavored, they will find a reason to destroy. We're going to get into this on the Rumble side of things. Not a banned account, thank you very much. Should election 2024 be safe with mail-in ballots? I don't know if that's sarcastic. Pasha Moyer, we tried to watch the last few minutes of the Nashville New Year's Eve show, assuming it would be more wholesome. They were all falling down plastered. Well. And then we got Prospering Woman, says, Viva, if you love tequila, you need to purchase a bottle of Shinako Anejo. That sounds very familiar. It isn't cheap, but it is heavenly elixir. Hold on. Shikane Ale. What was it called? Shikano Anejo. I think if that's the Anejo, does it have like a crystal top bottle? Chicane. Why can't I? Chicane. What's my problem here? Gosh darn it. Shinako is my problem because I'm dyslexic. Okay, that's Shinako. Well, that's not terrible. $75. Okay. Screen grabbed. I got one that was really, really expensive in tequila in Mexico. It was with my father-in-law. It was a long time ago. Was he there? Or did I bring it back from him? I don't remember. They came in blue, silver, gold, different. And hold on 1 second. Whoa, I just had a bad pain. Ouch. It was delicious. It was like drinking scotch in tequila form. Okay, so what we're gonna do right now, people. Let's hold on, not that. Let me go back to the chat here. Let's go to link to Rumble. Oh wow, I just had a stabbing pain. The stabbing pain is good. It means that the body is fighting off the infection. Okay, come on over to Rumble and vivabarneslaw.locals.com. Let me give you both because we're gonna have a little after party there afterwards. Okay, no, that's not the right link. It is right here. Boom, shakalaka. Okay, and let's see the number. Good, the number went down. I don't have to fight for too long today. That's Locals. Locals is in there right now. Rumble's also in there. People, if you're not coming, Happy New Year's. Nowhere to go but up, people. And every day is a new day to start again and be better than you were the day before. So that's it. That's my words of quasi-wisdom. Ending on YouTube. Come on over to vivabarneslaw.locals.com or Viva Frei on Rumble. YouTube, CommieTube.